Going back about 5 years ago, a group of us got together. We were all interested in food. We had a couple of producers, small cheese producer, horticulturists, and we also had a group of people who were very, I suppose, passionate about food. Some of us were involved in the community garden project together, and we had actually tried to get a community farm off the ground, which didn't nothing came of that. So we were looking at another project where I suppose we could address our passion for good food and the fact that we felt we were being fleeced by the commercial suppliers that were out there at the moment. And then our producers were having problems with bringing produce to market. The farmers' market area is sort of unregulated, in particular in the South Kerry area. So they were looking for a more permanent structure. So with that, we got together to look at a model whereby we'd be able to meet all our needs, the producers' needs and the actual consumers' needs. We put together a business plan to open a whole food grocery store in Kemmy. We located a premises, ran the figures. We needed to come up with about 30,000 in capital to get it off the ground, which we didn't have. So we actually approached a number of people who we felt would be sympathetic to our cause, and all in all they came forward with the 30,000 in interest-free loans for us to get the business off the ground. At that point we decided that there was a viable model there. It was a model that wasn't going to return a profit, but it was going to be self-sustaining. It was a business, it had to pay for itself. We weren't in a charity, we weren't going down that route. So the next decision, I suppose, was to make, if we were going to go ahead with it, what legal structure would it take? And that's when we looked at the co-op structure for a number of reasons. We were sourcing food from workers' co-ops in the UK, both Suma and Essential, who were both long-standing workers' co-ops. In addition, one of our founding members grew up in Toad Lane in Rochdale, which is where the original Rochdale pioneers were from, the founding members of the current cooperative movement. And it also fitted in with our philosophy of how we wanted to do things. It was a better way of working. We were attracted to the idea of democracy, where it would be one person, one vote, where we would respect people for what they were, that people would have a voice in the business. So at that point, the workers' co-op model was decided upon. The problem being there's no history of workers' co-ops, or very little in Ireland, and at the time there was no official sources of information. So we went with an IP&S legal structure, which it's okay, it doesn't cause us too many problems. We opened the business on the 16th of September 2009, so we're just over 3 years now. It has grown from strength to strength from the point of view of sales and selling produce and increasing customers. We had 5 workers in it, 5 worker owners in it, all part-time. One of them was working 4 days a week, the remainder lesser hours. We were paying our staff, we were paying our bills. Probably we booked the trend from the point of view that retail sales since we opened on a nationwide have dropped while we have increased. Last April we opened a cafe and a bookshop. I tied in with our philosophy of trying to bring good food to people, wholesome food. One of our members was interested in that area. Again, we ran the figures, we put together a feasibility study. And the remaining co-op members were quite willing to back that person. And like all decisions, it was made by consensus. Everyone rolled in behind it. The resources that were in one unit was pushed in behind the cafe. So we have it now that both businesses are operating on opposite sides of the road. We've 10 employees at the moment. That includes our 5 original members, and the other 5 employees are on what we call probation at the moment. We run a roughly 6-month probationary period where our members get a feel for the business, to learn about the business. The fact there's very little co-op education in Ireland. What we find is that members don't understand what it is to be a co-op member. So we had to put in place, which was a huge challenge for us, as it were, a curriculum to try and educate people. So we've spent maybe 12 months trying to work on that, and it's not a finished product, but it's an ongoing organic kind of thing. We change it when it needs be. So we have opened the cafe, as I said, in April. We have the 10 members now, which are hopefully 10 members, we say, by the end of this year. And I would think, while it is difficult to run a business, like any business, because they are businesses that have to make a profit, have to pay themselves, but they are self-sustaining businesses. While the challenges are there, I think the model brings a lot in that people are accessing resources that other people have, and people will share in the workplace, which they may not in the conventional workplace. In an area like Kenmare, with such a high unemployment rate, it's first of all the creation of sustainable jobs. The fact that the business is rooted in the community, if it's profitable, it's not going to be bought over by somebody because the members won't want it, because that's their own livelihood's gone. On the other side of it, unlike larger corporations that might be sold off because or moved to another part of the world, that's not going to happen. So it is a business, once it's sustainable, it's rooted in the community. I suppose other areas that maybe are not as obvious away from the standard business end of it, the fact that people are engaged in their business and they engage with each other, they learn to debate with each other. I think that has a whole knock-on effect to the wider society, in that the members, because they gain confidence in debate, they're quite willing to get involved in other social activities. And some members have got involved in politics, more of them involved in, say, credit union movements, which they wouldn't have been prior to working in the co-op. So that's a positive effect, I think, where co-ops can maybe an unforeseen benefit to it. I would hope to think that the Bridge Street Co-op will go on from strength to strength. Where it goes in the future will probably all depend on the members and what they want to do, because it is a member-driven organisation.